to move the conversation off of anime fighters and to get into just the fighting game landscape, we got EVO coming up next week, bro. And one of the things that I dropped in the chat recently is that EVO 2024 signups have somehow even surpassed EVO 2023 signups, which had already set a record. Now, I'm going to bring up the EVO 2024 signups first to share. But based off what I had said in the group chat, where like here are a lot of these games, these big IPs year one that are coming. The first full release of Tekken 8 during its first year, the first full year of Street Fighter 6, the first full year of Mortal Kombat 1. How do you feel about the EVO registration numbers thus far?
Mortal Kombat was a very shocker for me, bro. That was a real shocker for me. And it kind of just was very sad to see. It really was. And it's like, I would at least thought they would at least been in the top 5. I was like, no? Wow.
The bottom 2 is insane.
I was like, bro, this game is tanking like that?
The bottom 2 is insane.
I mean,
bro.
I'm happy for Under Night because, like I said, man, I would definitely represent Under Night to the very end. It's just like that game really deserves its flowers. Like, of course, Tekken and Street Fighter, that's of course understandable. Guilty Gear Strive, I was surprised because I felt the momentum of that game was very, very off to me. Grand Blue Fantasy, of course, like another niche anime-ish fighter, so I understood that. You already know how I feel about Third Strike. It's a classic. Yeah. You love it. But I just kind of feel like, bro, there's so many other things you could have chose in that place.
Well, like you said last pod, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 will be replacing that spot very soon.
Bro.
Very soon.
It is that's a definite. That is an absolute definite. Like, because you already know what the announcement is. Oh, we're gonna save one slot for a classic title.
And guess what title it is? Marvel versus, and you just see the trademark handshake. You're like, oh well, of course. What else would it be?
Of course,
MVC2 is back with Robot Netcode. What else could you have possibly chosen?
Yeah, King of Fighters. I was like, oof. But I mean, to be honest, I've always felt like King of Fighters always had a very sharp decline. I mean, I guess maybe Fatal Fury is one of the most prized properties.
Do you feel like King of Fighters could possibly overtake? Because, like, for example, you're right. I think Guilty Gear Strive was a bit of a surprise, but I do think there is that like increasing number of like Arc Sys Works loyalists that want to see their original IPs do well, right? And to be fair, like Strive is like a well built game. It's maybe not the best Guilty Gear, but it's a solid fighting game. So do you feel like, even though like I know like Grand Blue's kind of in that ballpark, do you feel like Grand Blue could have been or can be replaced by this next King of Fighters that's coming out, or this King of Fighters kind of exists outside that?
It is.
Okay.
Because I even feel like with this Grand Blue, it's basically like, I mean, I wouldn't call it a re-release. It's a more updated version that, they're going to probably add another probably strong season pass or whatever. But I don't see it lasting for too long.
Okay.
I don't see it lasting for too long. Like I said, I hope a lot of people, especially like, since COVID is done, and especially with this new Under Night, built for, the next gen consoles, I do hope that people really invest into this title, bro. I really hope people really see like what they built here. Like, bro, this is an anime fighter. Another anime fighter with a lot of Bleach-like elements in it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, bro, it surpassed Mortal Kombat 1. Like, I think even if people didn't know about the game, they're like, oh, what's this game that beat Mortal Kombat 1? What is this? Bro, I think like, EVO's going to give it more visibility in that regards.
No, because honestly, man, I got to give it up to PlayStation, man. PlayStation has been doing good with these online tournaments, even from the ones that you could just do straight from your system, man. When you look at these gameplay vids of Under Night, bro, this game deserves its flowers, bro. This is a very detailed game. The character designs are amazing, man, and when the combos are just like crazy. Like, to be honest, this game and Skullgirls, bro, I gotta give it to them, man. Like, especially Skullgirls, bro. Like, especially that rocky development cycle that they had with just so much, bro.
Internal things of like
they have that No Man's Sky spirit, bro. They rode that out to the end, and then, to be honest, what you thought was the end is not even the end. They still going. And it's just, it's just like I'm very happy. I'm very happy for games such as that because they're also showcasing you that yes, the big three, whatever state that may be in, there's still something solid for you to play.
Yeah.
You just got to give it a chance.
Yeah. My question about the big three, though, even though to be fair, the numbers aren't that far off in terms of discrepancy, do you feel like, we've said on this podcast multiple times that in our eyes, Tekken 8 kind of reigns supreme as like the number one of the big three.
Mm-hmm.
Is it showing up second to Street Fighter 6 a surprise? Do you feel like it has a lot to do with Street Fighter 6 having been out a little bit longer? Like, what do you feel like was the
I would
thing that made
say
Street Fighter 6 number one?
it's multiple factors. The fact that it has been out longer,
Mm-hmm.
and to be honest, even further into their development cycle. Because like, bro, like I could tell you, man, the way that they planned it out, like, all right, of course we release all 4 DLC characters. Oh no, here's season 2 already, and the first character
Is out. Is out.
bro. When I
Not
tell
coming
you,
soon. Out.
bro, when I tell you, people, the moment that they got hands on Bison, bro, you know how much people sat down and probably called out of work just to learn this character.
Mm,
Because the fun thing about these tournaments, bro, is it doesn't end with just EVO.
right.
Sony does tournaments from their system.
Right.
Oh yeah, log into this tournament, you'll win these prizes, you get new avatars and all this
Right.
other
If you have
stuff.
an Ethernet cable and you're hardwired, you can register. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
like that I said, man, like just because you may not be on the grand stage, but that doesn't mean you're not able to participate in something big. And then remember, there's all the small tournaments across the year.
Mm,
You got Frosty Faustins and you got all these other things, and then who's to say where they are in terms of their character. Well, actually, yes, they said Terry and I believe, yeah, those 2 characters come out before this year ends.
really?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Okay. Mm,
So it's like I said, man, the momentum is there.
mm-hmm.
Tekken is like, yeah, it's doing solid. It had a solid roster. The first character is already out. I feel like Lydia is going to be the surprise. Oh, playable now at the booth.
Okay. Almost like a shadow drop, or should be a shadow drop at this point, considering how long ago she was announced.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. And
Oh,
then probably might show the next trailer for the next character. And if it's a particular somebody, just let Jory.
we need a joy reaction video if it's a certain somebody. Like we need.
Yeah, yeah,
We need to give him space, like a little runway, so he can get his rant off. Because you know how he feels about who. Um, so
bro.
out of comparison, I'm gonna bring up now the 2023 EVO registrations because I think that's a very interesting comparison when it comes to Mortal Kombat in particular, as far as where their game was placing at that time. And I think this was after Mortal Kombat 11 had been out for like 2 years at this point, if not 3. Let me just bring that up real quick because it makes for, I think, a very like eye-opening conversation about where things are with that game in particular. So here we have the 2023 version of
Oh wow.
EVO, and you have Mortal Kombat 11 at the bottom, right? But I'm like, we're talking about a game that's significantly older,
Melty
right? So
Blood,
I'm like,
Melty Blood type, Lumina, Fighter Z, Ultimate Marvel. Okay. Well, I have heard that Mortal Kombat out of the big 3 has always been, I would say, like the outlier. Like you could tell, like Street Fighter and Tekken have always been the more hardcore rivals.
yeah. And also easier to pick up, to be fair, right? We're talking about 2 T for teen fighters that you can buy versus an M-rated fighter that, most parents aren't going to let Timmy, or Bobby or David just purchase, when you can pull someone
Yeah.
apart by their legs.
And then that Mortal Kombat. Yeah. To be honest, bro. Mortal Kombat 11 did not bother me as some of the other people I've seen online complain about.
Me either. We've had this talk before. I'm like, when people are like, "Oh, I hated it," I'm like, "Really? I thought it was
Like
very solid."
I did feel Shang Tsung was a very undeveloped DLC character.
Mm,
Because like you did the whole copycat thing just to renege,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. He had a couple of iconic moves. Basically, is like, well, here's the ninjas we didn't put in the game, so here you go. It's like, what?
But
Shang
then
Tsung has
you,
never been a mimic character. It's been like
yeah,
one aspect of his abilities.
and it's just like, yeah, that was very weird, and you kind of felt like this alchemy version of Shang Tsung was kind of like the redemption of that. Because to be
Yes.
honest, alchemy Shang Tsung is pretty fire to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
I just kind of felt, yeah, like it's interesting numbers, man. It really is. And it's also very interesting to see another Arc System Works or French Bread type of title still in that same type of bracket area. Like Melty Blood. Like Melty Blood and Under Night are two very solid anime fighters, but you could tell it's more on the under bottom tier of the list. And then look, Ultimate Marvel was the another classic title.
yeah.